quickly go into two issues. The Southwest Museum, Ann, do you want to say 2 minutes about the fight that's imminent? And it's a time frame thing where they're about to do a lot of stuff that will eliminate the Southwest Museum. The backstory is that the Autry Museum has taken over the collection and is about to get City Council approval unless we make a stand and are able to stop it, that would, with community college bond funds, finance in terms of becoming a school. Take it away.
I almost think Ron knows this better than I do. This is a complicated issue. For me, it's a 20-year-old issue. Basically, it's the Southwest Museum management. Not so much the employees, definitely not the members. The Southwest Museum management decided that Highland Park was not classy enough for them. In 1987, which interestingly is the year that Autry came onto the scene officially, with a very small number of people supporting it against people who did not want Autry in Griffith Park. That was the year the Southwest Museum management proposed moving away. In spite of 8 years of success, under the director they later nabbed for taking some of the items from the collection to keep some operating funds going. You heard about that a few years back. That fight of Southwest Museum wanting to move away was fought by Assemblyman and later Councilman Richard Alatorre. In the 90s, once again, Southwest Museum said, this building is too small for us, even though they had some plans done by the Mexican architect Legarreta to expand on site. Even though the city was cooperating and expanding their parking areas, this building is too small, we need to move away. They sent out RFPs. They really wanted a lot from the neighborhoods or the various municipalities they sent these RFPs to. Pasadena and the city of Los Angeles turned out to be the top contenders at the end. Mike Hernandez was then our councilman. He said, if you move away, this land will not be rezoned. It will stay what it is, open space museum, public use space. And they were very angry about that. The RFP was responded to not only in that fashion, but also by Mayor Reardon, who proposed several areas of help, including grant writing. The Southwest Museum management had already turned down a very lucrative grant to modernize the building that would have been available through the National Arts Council, I think I've got the name wrong. Within a few years after that also, the Southwest Museum management turned down help from the Getty, including grant writing. So it was a mission designed to fail. And if you read my little pamphlet, I am so proud of my words. Southwest Museum management managed to shrink the museum until the price was right for Jackie Autry. $0. You need to know that it was $0 with which the Autry acquired 12 acres of land and $1 billion collection. And I've been sizzling ever since. A lot of things have happened. We have a very strong coalition. We have 80 organizations that have signed on to the coalition. We got about 60 people down to a City Planning Commission hearing a week ago on Monday to testify for retaining the real museum function on Mount Washington. Now, our current politicians, that's something else. Jose Huizar, who is officially the councilman for 14th Council District, Mount Washington area of Highland Park, and our dear Mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa. I was one of his original campaigners when he first ran for Assembly. I thought he was our friend. Well, friend and neighbor, no. He campaigned for this time around as mayor, or excuse me, his original run for mayor, saying, well, if the Autry wants to build in Griffith Park, they will have to come to us first, and they will have to take care of the Southwest Museum. What happened recently, Councilman Huizar and Mayor Villaraigosa formed what they call the Southwest Society, a very clever name, because that was the original name in 1907 with which Lummis organized his group to become a real museum. They incorporated it as a museum. The museum building was built in 1914. But Councilman Huizar and Mayor Villaraigosa say, we are the Southwest Society. We're going to support this institution. They don't say museum, because Autry does not want a museum. Autry wants a so-called community center. Now it comes out Autry really wants a junior college there. Autry has made no enforceable agreement as to what they will do with the Mount Washington building. So we don't trust Autry. There are plans in Griffith Park for which they pay $1 a year lease. And for somebody this morning said, the city has stonewalled us on public information. I don't know whether the city has stonewalled us on public information or whether this is all there is. There are several aspects of the rental agreement, the lease agreement with the city that require periodic annual reports. We have gone to public information for those reports. All we got were 2 pieces of paper, drawings about the building revision in 1987. So our supposition is Autry has been so arrogant as to never file any reports required by the lease agreement. There are many other areas we're concerned about. I hope you will read. Olga, stand up, please. This lady is fantastic. She came from Mexico as a young woman. She and I worked on this English version of this little pamphlet. Her spelling is impeccable. Her spelling in English. I presume it's impeccable in Spanish also. And she will be addressing you later. So I thank you for this opportunity. She and I wrote this nice little pamphlet. I hope you'll read it. It's sort of modest. It's not big and flashy. But I thank you for this opportunity. We've been working hard. We're continuing to work hard. And we will be going to City Council to speak at the comment period next Wednesday. But don't tell anybody from Autry, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. And this thing's being steamrolled through, and the goal is to take a collection from the Southwest. It's worth somewhere between $300–400 million and $1 billion. Move it to the Autry, which has a collection of old movie posters worth about $40 million, double the size of the Autry. And then they slipped in the community college bond. This is the third one that's now going to be on the ballot. They slipped in, I think, what's $12 million to convert the Southwest Museum into classrooms for LA Community College. That all this is under the table. Own a field is part of the whole system. It's as I said, a closed system.